try to find, my voice was
Yeah.
We're laid back. We don't care. That's Herbert.
Oh, shit.
I don't know. What if that was like my real friend?
Oh, my
He
God.
talks to me at night and you just killed him.
You brought him here, and I was
Yeah,
just like,
like,
oh, shit. I just actually imagined him, like, being on the plane with you, and I was like, yeah, the whole way, and I just fucking killed your friend.
So I appreciate you, man, for doing the show. I want to welcome you to our Musicians and Sneaker family. In the show, we pretty much just want to get to know who you are as a person, where you started, and then learn what you do for a living. I'm overjoyed by watching everything that's going on in this store. I feel like it's a studio, and we'll get to walk to the back later. But I want to start from the beginning, man. I want to know where you're from, and how the heck you got here.
Oh, my gosh. How much time do we have? You got the short or the long?
Whatever you feel.
No, it's okay. I know how to say
The version, but
the what version?
the cute. I heard you say that.
The cute version.
Is there a cute version?
Well, I mean, yeah, but you know.
Okay, well,
you're comfortable sharing.
I know how I've actually been sharing this a lot, so I have mastered maybe not mastered, but how to say put the long version and make it short, concise.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the long answer to where I'm from is that I was born in Germany.
Okay, awesome.
What?
Yeah, I know that's also not that used to be like my fun fact when I was in like fourth
So I
grade.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't either.
right. So
I just assumed New York.
that's really good. That's also cool. That's fine. Sometimes people are like, you from LA? And I'm like, shit, I'm not doing this right. No, I'm just kidding. No hate. And then we moved to Singapore.
Okay. Lord, Jesus.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. And then we moved to Michigan, and that's where I did most of my grade school.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Stop.
Yeah, that's why when you said you were from Ohio.
From Ohio.
Yeah. Yeah.
Y'all
Michigan?
Y'all
Yeah.
enemies, bro.
Well, I don't know how much you know about Michigan.
Are you a
Michigan,
Wolverine fan?
Ohio State it's a big
Oh no, I know. I did like most of my. I would say I did most of my growing up in Michigan. Yeah.
So we finished with the interview? Well, I'm the mediator.
Oh, because you're like the
I'm from
rival?
Texas, so I'm the mediator.
I went to Ohio State. I dropped out and started doing this because college didn't work for me.
Yeah.
So I was like, the Buckeye shit was forced down my throat.
Okay.
So,
Is that the Ohio people?
yeah.
Okay.
The Buckeyes. And
Yeah.
the Wolverines,
So now you
like-
live in Texas, so we force Cowboys down your throat, right?
Yeah, I don't watch NFL. I watch NBA.
Dallas Mavericks.
Right. Yeah, so I did high school or middle school and high school in Michigan. And then I graduated early from Michigan high school, and we moved back to Germany. And so I did like a little bit of time there before I went to college in New York. And then I did my like adult kind of growing in New York.
Okay.
And that's where I started the brand.
Okay. All right. Awesome, man. What age did you get into fashion? Like, was it early? I know you talked to my daughter earlier, and she started at like 6.
Yeah, so I love that question. So I actually started, I think that stuff like this you're kind of born with, right? Like this, it's a personality thing, right? You're kind of just like, it takes a minute to be like, okay, I'm a little bit different than everyone else, you know?
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit before.
Yeah. I think your resting state is a little different, and you kind of come to learn that like, oh, like my friends who are like, they want to go out or they want to do these things, and sure, I did that, but you know, like waking up and like really just being like, oh, I'm so stoked to like work the next day. So I started I think the first thing I started doing was patching jeans when I was 13, actually. So when you're like, your daughter's 14 and she's like doing the necklaces, and my mom would sew the jeans in because I got in trouble for these really cool ripped jeans. Got like the principal called me down to her. She was like, your jeans are really cute, but they're ripped. And she was like, and you can't wear ripped jeans. And I was like, okay, why? So the rule was you couldn't have, this is actually such a good story. I've never told this story.
Awesome. We get it first.
Yeah, you do. And so the rule was that you can't wear skirts that were shorter than the length of your fingertips, right? So I had really long arms. And so I was like, whatever. So I would never wear skirts, but the rips were in my knees. So I was like, so why don't I just cut the pants off?
Right.
And then it's fine because it's longer than my fingertips. And she was like, okay, yeah, you can do that. I was like, okay, well, do you have scissors? Mind you, I'm like literally 13 years old talking to the principal. She was like, look, you're right. And I was like, awesome. So let's just be done with this and I can go back to class. She's like, no, but she's like, you have to take the ripped jeans off. And I was like, I don't understand this at all, right? This is an accurate story. I'm not exaggerating. Sometimes I exaggerate stories because it's more fun. My mom's Italian.
Honesty.
Yeah. Most people, like, it's not really 10. It's more like 4, but 10 sounds fun.
Right.
Anyway, point is that this is the accurate story. And so then I think my mom came and picked me up. I honestly can't remember that part because it's just like, so anyway, I started patching jeans. All these girls had jeans that were ripped. So I picked out the fabric and my mom taught me how to sew, but my mom would do most of the sewing. And so I would sell it for like $60 to all these people, right? Because all the moms, and I had this like really cool zebra notebook and all the paper was like this is not important, but just kind of like loving beautiful things and like fashion and this, to go back to the question. And it was like this like sequins paper, and so I kept like a balance sheet of how much I spent and how much I made. Anyway, so that led to these flip-flops that I would crochet around and these headbands that I made, and the headbands were in store when I was like at this point like 13, and I made like, I don't know, like $800 when I was like, that's kind of over
She's
like
a 13-year-old hustler, man.
Yes. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is like really fun. Anyway, then I got a job and but in addition to that, the kind of like business entrepreneurial spirit that's kind of very much been inside of me since I was young.
Where did it come from? Is it
my dad is very much like has that side. My brother has it too, but yeah, my dad has it, and my mom is really, really artistic. So I think that that's where the two kind of meet. But I always would shop with my mom. It was like our thing. We're just like, oh, let's go to the mall, let's shop. Like there were a bunch of really great malls in Michigan actually, like in Ann Arbor, Bloomfield Hills, and Rochester. And so we would just shop. And I loved clothes. My mom loved clothes. So we really got close. We bonded. So since I remember, I was always into clothes. And like that's why the store for me is so fun. And that's why when people come in and they shop, I'm just like, they can feel it, right? They like love the clothes. I never want anyone to walk out. And
she's different.
Yeah, it's a beautiful store, man.
She's different.
So, I guess guys, we'll get to look at it later, man. You got to see this. I think one of the things I'm fascinated by is a million things, but just the work in the back, because I told you earlier, I like to see where the hard work comes from.
Yeah.
And we'll get to go see that later. I love the way you write, and is that natural?
Yeah. It's how I do everything.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
gracious.
Well, wait, can you share the story?
Oh yeah, okay.
If you
The
want.
second grade story? No, yeah. This is why like childhood is so important, and like parents
is.
are
It is.
extremely
It is.
they have a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
Like I'm very lucky to have two great, extremely supportive parents. Like now that I look back at it, I'm like, wow, my parents like really had to be probably really calm with me because I was extremely hard-headed. Like most parents would just be like, no. My parents were like, okay, like they're like, go for it, like sure. They
My
must.
mom would have got me at the ripped jeans, so I'd have been over.
Yeah, my mom was like, oh, let's patch these jeans. Like this is so cute. Like let's pick out the patterns. Let's go to Joanne. She was like so.
So that creates an impact on you, man.
Yeah.
That it's not, don't do this, but hey, yes, it's cool.
Yeah.
And let's make something better.
It's
crazy.
so formative to the brain. It is like, it's because it makes you feel like it's possible.
Yeah, formative to the brain. That's important.
Yeah.
That's important. It's important how we, my wife and I have 6 kids.
Wow.
Well, not kids anymore, they're grown. And I've learned mistakes by saying no sometimes. As I got older and my son had a grandkid, a daughter, and I have a granddaughter, I realized those no's were wrong, man. I should have been doing that.
Well, no's are important though sometimes too.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Can we smoke weed in the house? No.
Yeah.
That was actually a question.
That's a good time to say no.
Question
Yeah.
that came around 18 years old. But just understanding that this could be something that makes her, that changes the trajectory of her life. And I think your mom was awesome for
Yeah.
that. And wow, that's great.
Yeah. Even my dad, one time, he was just like, oh, because I don't really cook. It's something I'm working on. And my dad would just be like, well, how are you going to feed yourself? And I'm like, well, I'm just going to make enough money to have a chef. And he would like, instead of just being like, oh, that's not possible, he would just be like, he was looking at me, he was like, okay, like, he like really believed it. He was like, okay, well, if Leah said she's going to do that, she's probably going to do it. And now they're just like, yeah, if you say you're going to do something, they're like, clearly, like, I'm like, okay, cool. Only took me 30 years. No, they believe, like, but you know, there was like a little bit of doubt there. Like, everyone was just like, okay,
It's so
is she
opposite.
crazy or is she going to make it happen?
It's so opposite from, you're going to grow up and you're going to be a doctor. You're going to go to this school and it's this cookie cutter format of what I want you to do. That doesn't make you, because then you end up wanting to leave that format.
Yeah.
And break out. Is what I was dealing with now, because I literally almost walked off my job the other day because of the cookie cutter format. And just sitting at a desk all day in corporate America and just and it's not what I want to do. So that was highly important.
Yeah, I worry
Yeah.
about that. I have a 5-year-old, and we're constantly like self-conscious about what we're telling him, because like most adults, I think, and I think you said it, are kind of like results of their childhood, so we make sure, like, okay, wait, are we encouraging him, are we feeding him what he needs, even though it might not fit what you think you're supposed to do.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I can imagine it's extremely complicated.
It's hard to get it right.
Like you said, you want to say no, but no's are good.
Yeah.
Because he's no boundaries.
So what I learned, because we're on a different spectrum, my kids are grown and yours is younger.
Yeah.
Like she said, no's are good, but you have to explain the no's. This is why I don't want you to do this, and this is why you shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
This is the consequence of that and stuff like that. I didn't learn that until later, so that's what I would recommend for that.
Yeah.
I'm already beyond it now because I'm on grandkids. But, so I failed to mention we're in LA. So we brought Dallas to LA, brought musicians and sneakers to LA, and Leah's in LA. So how did you get from New York, from Germany, from traveling the world?
Yeah.
From traveling the world to LA. Los Angeles.
Yeah, this is also, saying this all out loud is like, it's very also cool for me to kind of see full circle, because like I said before, this now in this time of my career it's very different than it's ever been, right? I feel like I've kind of like, I'm finally reaching a point where I'm like, oh cool, like I have like established, I have a job, I'm making money, right? Like before it was just like, it was struggle. Like it was like the struggling artist, like the epitome of that, right? So, and that being said, when I was in New York, I was just trying to figure out, like literally every day, just trying to figure out how to make this work, what to do. And that's why I would make the list, and that's where the writing came from. Because I was like, okay, what should I do today? Should I reach out and like try to do wholesale? Should I like try to be designing stuff? Should I make some graphics? Like just didn't know what to do, because you're just young and you don't know what you don't know, right? Like, should I update the website? Should I take more pictures? Should I like, tighten up this? There's just so many things when you're running a small business. So, and I just wasn't making the money that I wanted to be making, and I was doing it for almost 8 years. And so I actually, I put this online, but it kind of got lost because I don't know, people just forget about things, but I actually closed down my business because it was, it was just like, I mean, we can use the word fail or we can use whatever word we want, but it was like just, I felt like it was failing. And I was like, okay, like this isn't working. It was extremely hard for me to like let this dream go. But my grandma, she was like, oh, she's like, you're giving up your dream. And I was like, this isn't my dream. I'm failing. I'm like, this isn't fun. I'm not waking up every day like stoked. I'm
Oddly
like,
enough, that's a part of the dream. Fail.
Right. Yeah. And so that's why it's just kind of like when people are like, oh, every failure leads to like good things. And it's like, you see these like quotes and you see all this stuff online and you're just like, okay, cute.
Right.
This is all really cute. But like, it's so much different when you're going through. You're just like, it's just like, oh my God, it's so hard. And so it was so incredibly, it was such a hard decision for me to just, because it felt like to stop the business. It felt like I was failing. I was like, oh my God, I'm just like, I'm giving up this thing. And I had no idea. So I have a finance degree from Fordham, where I spent 4 years in New York.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to use my degree and like get a job and like take this route and just try something else, right? To like not be so rigid and to pivot. So then I took this job that was not a finance job at all. It was another startup for fashion. Cause kind of like, things just, when you're in alignment and whatever, an opportunity just came. So I took this job and then COVID hit and it was just not the right job. So like, thank God that happened, because I was just like, okay, I learned in maybe 6 weeks that like, I just did not want to like work for someone else in that capacity.
Same here.
Yeah. And so COVID hit and I I already had the supply chain, I already had the website, I knew how to do everything. Like I could build a business with my eyes closed, like from like that end. And so I was like, I paid off a ton of credit card debt that I had built up over the past 8 years, which was extremely hard. And then I was like, okay, let me like do the business and just like start doing it. Like I used to party and like kind of dabble in some stuff, and so I got like totally clean. I wasn't drinking, I wasn't doing anything. I was living with my mom in California, so I was like, okay, let me start all this like fresh and with like a clear mind. And like
that's how you got to California.
Yeah, that's why I moved to California. I was like, okay, like I did my 10 years in New York, and I was like, I just need to switch it up, right? Like it just wasn't working, and it was hard for me to leave New York too, because I was like, this is my dream. This is the dream. This is the story I was telling myself, because that's what people do, right? They tell we tell ourselves stories that we like just get so stuck to, and that's why I always say it's great to have like these 5-year and 10-year plan and like these goals. But at the end of the day, it's also a little confining. Because you're like, well, this is like what I should be doing, but then sometimes like you have to let it go.
There's a song I like, and it's I think of it when I think of that situation. It's from the Foreign Exchange, and it's called "God is Laughing at Your Plans." And it's just talking about how this guy had all these plans to do this and do this, and just God just laughed at it because you're telling God, for those who believe, this is what I'm going to do. Yeah. But then there's a direction he already had you going in. So it's kind of like he brought you here because he was laughing at your plans in New York. Because you wanted to stay in New York and do that. And it's like, no, I had somewhere else.
Oh my gosh. There is literally nothing truer than that. So yeah, anyway, then I came here, and then I was like, let me like, I wasn't like, let me reopen the business, but I was like, let me just tie-dye some stuff and make some, you know, my mom sews, so she was sewing in tags. And then I just started really small, right? I was like, let me just do this. Let me see how it goes. And let me just do it from a fresh, clean state. I don't want to get fancy. Right. I'm just going to sell the tie-dye stuff with tags and ship it. That was it, right? There were no like distractions. There was nothing else like funky going on. I didn't have like keychains. I didn't have stickers. I didn't have lighters. I didn't have all these things, right? Because you like try to do all this stuff with like a little bit of money, and then it just gets like what's the word, like kind of like overwhelming and like fuzzy in your brain. You get distracted, and then things started actually going well, and I was like, oh shit. Like, but again, God just like put this back in my lap. He was just like, okay. COVID hit, the job ended, and they actually paid me for the work that I did, which I hadn't gotten paid yet, so I was just gonna take an L. Like,
is that before the Nike thing?
Oh, this is way after the Nike thing.
Okay. We'll talk about that.
Oh yeah, we'll go into that. But yeah, this is how I ended up in LA. And then so one thing led to the next, and I just like started, you know, again doing things much more simply. And then I moved actually into a studio across the street, a work studio, because things just like expanded, right? There was like, and then I was doing shirts, and then we were making masks, which was like super. And then
everybody's making money on that.
Yeah, but we were making sustainable masks that were from scraps, and so we got so much press around it. And then like, I mean, just again, it was just like I was just really like in this flow, like I was really in alignment finally, and then that was my dream, and I was like, oh my god, like. I mean, it was significantly different. One, it felt different. Like, you're just like, in New York, I felt like I was just like fighting something that wasn't working.
You're always fighting stuff in New York, though. It's hard to live. It's just such a hard place. I love the city, man, but it's so hard to live.
You know, instead of just being like, oh, I need this big studio space, I was just like, okay, I grew out of like, because I was working from my mom's condo. So I was like, I had no overhead. My mom was helping me. And again, like kept expenses down. Instead of like trying to look fancy, I was like, let me just like actually do this, like as a. Right. And then grew out of that, and then that store, and then that was extremely expensive over there, but I could afford it. Like I was at that point, and then I grew out of that place, and I found this place. And my landlord over there helped me find this place, which was again just like this really nice thing that happened that he absolutely did not have to do. And I was like, Mom, his name's T-Zoc. He's so cool. I was like, Mom, T-Zoc's totally gonna screw me over. Like, he's gonna want the space for himself. And I was like, and my dream again is like gonna be dead. And she was like, you don't know if it's gonna happen. So first of all, let's just stop right there. And she was like, and he seems like a really nice guy, and I think it's gonna be fine. And she's like, if it's meant for you, like just let it. And I was like, okay, like again, like putting all those quotes that we read like into action. And then sure enough, he was like, you can totally have the space. He's like, it's so cool. That's your dream. Like, I'm so happy to help you. And I was like, okay. I was like, am I being punked? Like, what's going on? And I was like, okay, this is super fucking cool. This is happening. And then, I just like threw up a wall. I like, in one night, I bought all the stuff. Like I figured out like a POS system. I bought racks. I bought a dressing room. I found this thing online. I bought shelves and
so is that your handwriting or is that wallpaper?
No, that's my handwriting. Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah. I had my landlord put up the wall. Again, we can show you guys later, but
we'll walk around and look at it.
yeah, I had the neon sign, which was being stored in my friend's apartment in New York. So when I went to New York, I got it, I shipped it back. Like everything was just like there.
Why did you? So in the day and age of online shopping, you couldn't stop there, right?
Yeah.
Did you want a gallery? Why did you open?
So
storefront?
this was one of the stories I was telling myself when I was younger. Like I was always like, I'm gonna move to New York and open up a store. That was it. Like you can ask my parents
from
and my
childhood,
siblings.
yeah.
Yeah, it was like I'm gonna move. And then so I was just like working towards that, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna let it go because it's not working.
Yeah.
You know. And then I moved to LA, and my mom was like, did you ever think that you're gonna be in LA and have a store? I was like so hard headed against moving to LA for the reasons we spoke about earlier. And again, it was just a story that I was telling myself, like I'm a New Yorker, you know.
Right.
And then so yeah, and so I always wanted to have a store. And again, I just love shopping. Like still now, like shopping for the store is like where I go to like be calm.
Yeah.
Like, and I only want to do it alone. Like, you know, some people like, I don't know, whatever they do. And so it's like an incredible blessing that I can actually go and shop for myself and then also make money. And it's like my job. And it's just like this crazy kind of like moment that I have every time I do it.
That's dope. That's crazy. I wanna skip to the art side of it because having this store looks like I'm walking into a Picasso. You know what I mean? It's not, and you'll get to look at it in a second. It's not just a store. It's a work of art. So you're not just a designer, you're an artist. Mm-hmm. Where did that side come from?
I see that happening in real time.
Yeah.
Like you just changed your website.
Yeah, it's like
So
really,
like you're trying to balance.
Right.
Is that what's happening?
Yeah, oh my gosh, I'm really glad the website came off that way. I think you know a little bit more behind the scenes, but it's very much what I was trying to do with the new website, because before it was just like, oh, you're an artist, which even still feels like a little bit impostery to like say like I'm an artist, but the art happened. So when I moved out here, again, just like these like little small things that kind of make up the bigger story. This woman was like it was her daughter's 16th birthday, and she bought her daughter a Jeep, and she wanted to have a custom Jeep cover, a tire cover. And so she's like, can you do that? And I was like, I have no idea how to do that, but like I'm sure I'm just gonna buy some sealant products and a marker and figure it out. And then I was like, why don't I make a video? And so I like posted on Instagram, can someone make a video? And this guy was like, I'll make you a video for free, I need a portfolio. Like, and I was like, cool, come. He made this fire video, like brought a drone, super cool video.
His name, so you shout him out if you don't know.
I know exactly what he looks like. I can't remember his Instagram handle. And then my friend saw that, and he wanted me to make a piece of art for him for his condo. And I made a 7x4 foot piece of art on a wood panel. We got this custom wood panel made. And this was the first piece of art I ever did, which is like, shout out to my friend Eric, because he really like...
That's going to be worth some money because that's the first piece.
I think it's the first piece of like
Oh
actual
my
art with
God.
resin. We used so much resin. And when I was doing it, I was kind of just
Oh my
like...
God.
I wasn't... You know, you don't know what you're doing when you're doing it. You don't know like how it's going to be. You don't know what it's going to bloom into. You just don't.
Priceless. Would you ever ask for it back?
No. He actually didn't pay me for it.
That would be priceless. You think
He
about
bought all the supplies, but at the same time, he kind of like started my art career.
Yeah.
Well, imagine if Picasso had a friend and he was like, I'm gonna paint this for you, I'm gonna leave it alone, and it's the first Picasso
Yeah.
ever. Like that.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. Like, so what happened? So I see the pictures back there. We talked about them. We'll go back and look
Yeah.
at them. I see a surfboard right there.
Uh-huh.
Where did the artistic side come from? Was it same thing when you were a kid?
Yeah, I think it's always been there.
Okay.
Yeah, I think my mom is really, really artistic.
Okay.
And those things. My mom is an extremely good painter, drawer. She can pretty much do everything. She can like hear a song and like play it on the guitar, play it on the harmonica, like stuff like that, like really artistic. I can't do stuff like that, but
Did you write like that on everything when you were a kid?
no, actually,
that's fun.
I didn't used to. Yeah, I didn't really like notice that this was a thing, but I did write nicely.
Mm-hmm.
But I did. My parents let me paint a mural in my bedroom, and you know what?
Oh,
It's
that's dope.
the photo. I have one photo of it, and it's locked on a computer that I can't open. But I'm gonna figure out how to open it. But they let me paint this mural in my room in Michigan, and I had bright pink walls and a purple shag carpet. So like, you know, the art. And again, most parents would be like, we're not gonna let our kid do that. Like that's crazy. It was. But you look at it, and you're just like, you let people show their artistic side.
Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
it doesn't hurt anyone by letting people do that. And also, it was cute too. So like, my parents won.
Do you feel like people bite that though? Because I see the font. Do you ever feel like, man, that's my writing style, and I see it somewhere?
Ooh.
You ever
Wait,
feel-
Wait, have you ever thought of creating your own font?
yeah.
Oh, I have. It's already a thing.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really? So it's that. that we see on the wall?
Like,
or-
like I could buy it.
No, it's not for sale.
Oh, okay.
No,
Oh, wow.
not yet. Not it's too it's too soon to do that. But
Jeez, you doing big.
yeah, but it's like you can type it on the computer.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how I do all the custom iPhone cases.
But is it this right here?
It's not this thick one. It's a single line. This one is a little more calligraphy style because it has the thin and the thick. But yeah, but it's this style of type case. It's kind of the only thing I do. So it's just a different marker, so to speak.
Right. Cool. So we're gonna transition to music because, of course, we're musicians and sneakers. I know it's a little different because we're in what I'm still calling an art gallery, and I wanna know your era of music. So I'm gonna ask your age. I know your age, but I'm for the public. So I wanna know how old you are so that we can
What
gauge
era?
that era of music.
Oh shit.
You don't have to.
You
Okay.
can you don't
Okay,
have to,
yeah.
or you can lie. You can say
You can just say
19.
the era that you like. You can
Yeah,
listen.
let's do that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like definitely like 90s R&B.
90s
like,
R&B.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good era.
That's
Yeah.
my favorite.
Yeah, I think is that a generic answer though?
No, like if you pull up my playlist right now on Tidal, like 95% is gonna be like
Yeah.
90s.
Yeah, no, I went on a date with a guy who worked at Spotify and he's like super into music and like all this like new indie stuff. And he's like, "Can I see your Spotify?" Like totally judging me. Granted, we did not go on another date after this. Like it could have been for this reason. He was like, "Wow, you like literally only listen to 90s R&B."
That's great. Well,
And I was like, but you normally come to the store, like I'm trying to mix it up because I'm here every day for a long time. I actually can't keep listening to the same songs.
Yeah.
So what are you playing in the store? That was
Sometimes,
another
yeah, normally that, or I mean, this is also a generic answer. I just really love Drake.
Yeah.
I really do.
I like Drake.
I don't like the new album, but
Shout out Drake.
yeah,
Shout out Drake.
old Kanye.
I like
I know.
the-
I don't like the house techno, that
House,
kind of stuff at all. It doesn't do anything for me. It actually makes me feel kind of overwhelmed.
Does it influence even that era or any era? Does that influence you when you're doing your art? Like as me as an artist, I gotta listen to something. I get up in the morning and one of the first things I do is I put on earphones. I did that this morning, and it kind of just starts my day.
Yeah.
When you're doing art or you create something, does music influence that? Or are you listening to something while you're doing it, or?
I think, and I read this once, I'm not sure if this is true, but and I don't even know if like ADHD or ADD is like a thing now, but they say that, or people with anxiety, they said it's calming to listen to things that you know and to
I have
watch
ADHD,
movies and
so
show.
yeah, it is.
Yeah, so I don't know if I would say it necessarily influences my art. I do love quotes,
Okay.
but not necessarily quotes from songs, because if you listen to the lyrics in songs, sometimes it's like not the greatest.
Right.
But like I'm dating someone now, so I like kind of like love like the lovey songs, like, you know, you kind of, but because it does make, like, it does influence you, but I do like listening to things that I know because it is calming to hear it in the background, and to
Right.
hear something that you recognize. And I don't know I don't know exactly what the like scientific answer is to that, but I'm sure that means
No, I
something.
get it. Yeah, I
But yeah, like I generally don't listen to anything too new.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, it's like it's just so much.
So we ask every artist this. We ask for throughout your journey. We ask for tough times. What are the things that were tough, and that you learned from? So that's a positive, and then we ask probably a negative, and then give us a positive, something you learned that, like an
The
affirmation.
negative is all your perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
What was something that was tough? Oh my god, like the whole first 8 years, like literally every day was tough.
And that's a good answer.
yeah, you kind of talked about it, I guess, a little.
Yeah, you know, I think that
Maybe something more specific.
yeah, I'm trying to think that
That, like, really, you think maybe shaped kind of how you think about things and see things that you still use today.
It definitely wasn't the childhood, because your childhood was also
Yeah.
when your parents were letting you.
yeah, I think
Create your own.
that this is like something a little more specific, so we don't have to use this. I don't know if it's the right answer, but I used to be like really hooked on Adderall. And I think that that's something that it's like so kind of scary common. I was like really hooked on Adderall.
Yeah.
And that was actually one of the reasons why I left New York. And I don't love like sharing this or talking about it because it is.
If you wanted on the show, we'll put it on there.
No. I mean, it's an important thing to talk about, because I think that, especially as an artist and someone who is creative, it blocks you.
Right.
It takes away your personality. It makes you incredibly robotic.
It does.
It literally made me like uncool. I couldn't think like things, and because I was so confused in what I was doing and didn't have the I just didn't want to ask for help
You're a
until a
zombie.
week.
You're a zombie.
You're a zombie, yeah. And I was
I
taking
took
like
it.
a lot of Adderall. It wasn't like I was taking
We
Adderall.
talk about mental health a lot and mental health issues. I took Adderall. And I'm gonna tell you right now, it had one side effect that that made me drop it immediately. It messes
yeah.
with men sexual.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
women too.
Oh, for sure.
So I took it, dude. I took it like for a month, and then I found that out. I never took it again.
Yeah.
And then, but outside of that, the zombie thing.
Yeah,
I was so gassed on doing everything but what I was supposed to do.
Yeah, it's just like I think it's the devil's drug. Like I really do. Like it gets you hooked on other shit.
Yep.
And like I don't know if I want to like use the term gateway drug or whatever, like or get like.
I mean, like
but yeah,
when they described it to you, when they described it to me, the psychologist said, "Yeah, it's on the same level as cocaine. So of course it's
like,
a gateway. You know,
literally is methamphetamine. Like
right.
yeah,
So it's
so
more
bad.
than a gateway because it's
Like, it is the drug.
Right.
Like yeah, it's
so and we feed it to people to be zombies, but no, I hated it, and I
Yeah.
took it at 40. I'm 43. I took it at 40, and I cleaned up the house all day. But I didn't play the drums. I didn't do music.
Yeah, no,
I didn't
no.
do musicians and sneakers, and because I was doing it half the time that month where I was really just kind of distant. And it's cocaine is what it is, meth, and now I
Yeah.
had to get rid of it too.
Yeah, and so that was like a big reason why I left New York, and I think like why things started blooming, and it was really hard. And the hardest part was that I didn't ever tell anyone about it or share about it, and that's like a really scary place to be in, like a really crazy place to be, right? Where you're kind of just like you're hiding this like thing that was like, I mean, what maybe going on for like when like 6 years, you know, where you're just like. And you feel you kind of can't function without it, you don't know where you are, and then also doctors are giving it to you,
Yeah.
and then like, but
You
also
take
getting it
this
from
and
friends
kill
and stuff.
yourself, yeah.
But yeah, and then it's kind of just like you feel like maybe it's safe or you're doing something wrong. Anyway, it's just this like really twisted, dark hole that you can just go down, and I kind of was going down it, and then on top of the partying, and then I stopped partying, and it's just like, so in that sense, I would say maybe something I learned was, I mean, that's like kind of its whole thing, but obviously like. Most people are probably fine without it,
Right.
especially Adderall. Antidepressants and those other things are much different. Yeah. Yeah, everyone does have their own journey, but I think that, I mean, oh my God, I have just so much, just knowing so many people who are just on so many things and have gone off it, and it was really, oh my God, just so
Life
many.
changing, yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, I was on antidepressants on and off a couple times, and I'm honestly not even a depressed person, but I was on so much fucking Adderall.
It'll make you
That I was so depressed, and then I got off antidepressants, and my psychiatrist did not want me to. I mean, I could go on and on about this, and then I ended up just kind of just not wanting to be on it, and I had these like raging headaches, and it's like so addictive, and it really does like rewire your brain, and like getting off is like it's trying to get withdrawals.
I had to fight my psychiatrist to say.
Well, because they're making so much money.
Yeah,
and that's,
I told him,
like,
I
are we gonna go into this?
Dude, I told
Yeah.
him, and we won't stay on it too long.
Yeah,
I told
I mean,
him,
we
I said,
can't.
hey man, I want to stop treatment. I'm not taking the medicine no more. And he tried his best to convince me, in his doctor's words, that hey man, you need this treatment. You wanna live a healthy life. You wanna do this. You wanna be fully functional. And I'm going. Picture me saying, no, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want this drug anymore. I want to get off drugs. No, you need to stay on drugs. I don't want to be on drugs no more. And like you said, I went from Adderall to antidepressants. Before I know it, I was more screwed up
Then you
when I
started
with. So and when you drop everything, like you say, you start getting all these crazy mental. My diet went crazy, but
Yeah. But you know what is a really nice thing about when all that shit when stuff goes really bad, and this is another quote, again, I love quotes, but when things like when you do get off all that stuff, and when like I was having all those headaches, and like when I moved to LA, like again, I was in a very privileged place, like have a mom who had an extra room for me to live in for free. Like, first of all, like that's amazing, and two, to have a mom that like wants me to live with her. A lot of parents are like, no, you know, like, and so, but I was like, I felt like I was kind of just at zero and at rock bottom, and so I was like, okay, let me start like fresh, and like you can kind of put the pieces back together how you want, and that's like a really nice place is when like things are just so shitty and you're just like, okay, I fail, like clean slate, you know. And I think that that's why it's really nice when you do go through that. You're like, wait, no Adderall, no antidepressants. Like, things are shitty right now, so like, let me rebuild and make them not shitty. It really does give you like an opportunity. Like, kind of one door closed, no one open. Like, there's like a million quadrillion quotes about that, but like, it really is, you know, like when things are like, it's just an opportunity for like you to piece back things how you want to piece them back together. Like for me, I was like, okay, like no Adderall. Like I can't hang out with these people. I can't party. I can't go out. Like I just don't want to.
I'm gonna ask you a question. I want to record it on your phone because I want to send it to my daughter.
Oh, okay.
It's a question I always ask the artists. I usually ask them. I always ask the artists, "What would you tell the young generation?" But I'm gonna say, we're doing one woman power today.
Yeah.
I talked to my daughter earlier. Hey, Seven. Her name is Seven. Who is a designer and her own. The girl is smart.
Mm-hmm.
She reminds me of what you say you were when you were a kid, and she's the only kid who would draw in her room, and we allowed her to be herself.
Mm-hmm.
She wears weird stuff, weird sweaters, and cuss them up. What would you say to the young girls about empowering themselves to be who they are, to get to this point, or to keep pushing and keep going? I know that's a lot, but you can think deep. We got
Well,
time.
keep thinking about it because I want to add to that.
Yeah.
Is I was trying to get to this a little bit with Vince yesterday.
Mhm.
Is it's so cliche. People are always like, "Be yourself." You hear all these quotes,
Yeah.
"Be yourself." You know, be an individual. Do all this, but like then I hear nobody talk about what that actually feels like
Yes.
to do that,
Yeah.
because it feels you feel very out of place. You feel very uncomfortable. Like I hear nobody talk about how it feels.
Yeah.
To be
We
an
talked
individual.
about it.
Talk about
Yeah.
that, but
No, I mean, yeah, it's like, what advice would you give? I think, and I was going to say, my advice was just to keep doing it. And then, but I mean, it's just, there's so many things, right? It's like surrounding yourself with other people who support you. I mean, I had a really hard time in middle school and high school with girlfriends.
Okay.
So that's like,
That's normal though.
Yeah.
We talk about this all the time. When you're different, you're weird to the world. You don't have a lot of friends.
Yeah,
It's,
no,
it's still
yeah.
that way now.
yeah. And then just like, I don't know, what advice would I give? I would just be like, I mean, don't get so stuck on an idea and don't be so rigid. I was really, really, really rigid.
That's good.
I was like really stubborn. But it also helped, right? Because
Yeah.
if I wasn't, then like people probably could have been able to sway me, you
Right,
know? Because like, like if I looking back now, like if someone like was seeing what I was doing, like they would have been like, you should stop.
Right,
Like I would have
right.
probably might have told myself like maybe you should stop. Like it's gonna be really, really hard,
Right.
you know? Like because it was like kind of like a lot of the things were like, I don't want to say like not smart, but like it was like really bad, you know? Like I was like living in like those places where there's like you know like bugs painted into the wall. Like it was like really
Yeah, I know
bad, you
exactly
know?
what- it's
Like
my-
I
it's
was
my
like
childhood.
it was hard. It was like but it's hard to get through those points.
It is.
You know?
yeah.
Those points make you super strong.
Yeah, and then but when you also like I had an opportunity to not be living like that.
Right,
like
right.
very easily just to make a decision, be like, okay, yeah, no more. Like I did. And then you know, but things fall back into your lap because what's made for you like really won't ever pass you by. And like that moment is a great opportunity, or like the moving to LA and having the business fall back into my lap
Right.
is a really good example of that happening. But yeah, I'm trying to think like what I would like advice I would give your daughter. I would just be like, just like try everything and just tell everyone and just keep doing it and work really hard and ask for help. Like it's so many
Ask for
things.
help is
Yes.
good.
And also just like believe in yourself and know that you can do it and just like wake up every day and like, and then I would also say don't drink and don't do drugs.
No, right.
Sure, like drink and be social, but seriously, like just don't. Like that shit is like the craziest, darkest, like most toxic thing you could ever go down. And I got like really deep into the New York partying promoter scene.
It's
and
hard not to in New York.
yeah, it's like fun and it's free and it feels glamorous and it feels like all these things. And then next thing you know, you're like literally hooked on drugs and you're like, okay, wait, I'm sorry. Now I have to spend like all this time and energy getting off this stuff. And like, again, being stubborn and not wanting to share, you're just like, okay, so now I'm doing this alone.
Right.
You're like, I was like, oh my God, imagine if
Yeah.
I was spending all that time like working. But anyway, all of that stuff makes it now. And like now I don't even like there's no,
Right.
and you
That's
surround
good.
yourself with different people and you learn. And my mom always said, she's like, Leah has to learn the lessons the hard way.
Right.
And I was
Me too.
like, yeah.
So my mom
yeah.
said that. Yeah.
That's
That-
a consistent thing that I hear all the time with quote unquote successful people. Is it's all these other things, all these other factors that you kind of have no control over. Talent, luck, what you're born with, all that. Despite all that, it's the like the secret sauce is really, in my opinion, when I say what I keep hearing, is you just stick with it.
Enjoy it.
You
Stick
kind of
with
just
it.
keep
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah.
pushing,
You
yeah.
know?
Yeah. I don't want to say like hustle hard because like hustle culture and like all that stuff's going on.
No,
but,
it's
like,
just not stopping.
yeah, but it is. It's like being scrappy. Like my friend was like, we sat down and I was like, oh, there's like a bunch of joints here, whatever. And she's like, they're half smoked. I'm like, but they're half there. And she's like, oh, like that's just who you are. Like you're always just like making the best out of everything. She's like, you're always like finding like what to do and like you're so scrappy and you're doing all this stuff. And it's like, like that's
most of the world don't even see life like that.
Yeah,
and they don't see the art in. I see the art in everything.
Just like there's like opportunity everywhere. That's like how I see it. I was just like, oh, like and I just think that, and again, I'm not sure that that's something to be taught.
Yeah.
So it's something to like, yeah, I don't know. It's like if you like to do that or not. There's some people who are just like my mom. She's like, I don't want to do that. She's like, I want to work for someone and like be told what to do and to do a job and then to be done. And then there's people who are just like I like thrive on being. My dad's that way, right? He has like however many businesses and a corporate job and like he's doing all kinds of things and he's just like scrappy. He likes to do all these kind of things and that is just like. Right. So this is why it's like kind of giving advice, but it is hard because you kind of. I don't want to say you either have it or you don't, but because if someone doesn't have it, then you have to find a partner. You have to like make up for find somewhere where you lack. But it's just kind of like
just keep pushing out.
Yeah. That's also really nice.
Okay, I'm good.
You
Are you going to segue into sneakers and stuff?
Yeah, you recording?
Yeah.
So we talked about my daughter, about the sneaker thing, and so I saw those. So everybody who watches musicians and sneakers, know I love Jordan 3s, but these are different Jordan 3s. Like these are custom made. Did an artist do that?
So these are the collaboration between Anna and Jordan. Okay. Anna Wintour, sorry, who is the editor-in-chief of Vogue.
Okay, wow.
She's very like, I mean, people who know Anna Wintour, she's very, what's the word, like elegant. She like has this bob and she always wears these black sunglasses and she's like very much like not urban. She's not a sneaker person. So it was very cool for her to come together with them and do this, even just to put her name behind it. I don't know how involved she was, but it was cool. And the better part of the story, the best part of the story for me is that they I actually got back from a trip from LA and I got back to my apartment in New York and they were waiting for me in New York and it was after the
oh my god,
I know, that's just like, you know, it's so nice to be sent like useful things that you love. Like sometimes people send you stuff and you're like, okay, cool, thank you, so grateful, but like no, like I don't like to have like a lot of things around, so the things that I do have around, I very much use them and like I like them. And it happened after I did the event with Nike for my sneakers, and
that's what I want to talk about.
Yeah.
So not just somebody customizing sneakers, you also customize sneakers. And I have a special one right here. Tell me about this guy.
Yeah, so I saw this. I started doing these sneakers. Gosh, how long ago did I start doing these? Like, it's got to be like 6 years ago now, maybe. I can look at the actual date, but anyway, yeah. So it was like about 6 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, and I saw people customize sneakers online. This was kind of before it was as popular as it is now, and my friend and I bought a pair of Air Force One highs, and we wrote on the strap around, and it looked really cool. And then I wrote on the swoosh, and then I bought a pair of lows because it was summer, and then I wrote all over them, like even on the top part, and I sold them for like, I don't know, like $195. And I was like, wow, this is so amazing. And I sold like 4 pair. Then I was like, actually, I think it's super, super ugly for the people with the top done. And so then I looked, I think I even did the swoosh, like on the first pair I ever did. And then I kind of came up with this design.
This is fresh.
And then I like noticed they were getting a lot of traction. People really liked them. Increased the price a little bit. And then they kept selling. Like no ads, nothing was running. And then obviously sneakers, the basic Air Force Ones are, it's an expensive product to gift to influencers, and so influencers were, it was very effective to send things to influencers. And so I sent them to a couple influencers, Delaney Glazer, who's still my girl. She's a dancer.
Shout out Delaney.
Yeah, Delaney. And one of the other people was Olivia Jade.
Okay.
And she had a huge YouTube channel.
Okay.
And I sent her these, kind of, that was a stretch because I didn't know her. Delaney I knew, been sending her stuff, like such a homegirl, always posts, lots of good content for the gram, like so talented.
We'll put her Instagram on.
Yeah. She's like Justin Bieber's like backup dancer. She's like top, like, you know, she's like one of the best. And also a great person. So it's like good to work with, like that's a big part of my brand. And
that's what we care about.
Yeah. And again, who I am as a person. So I sent them about Olivia Jade, and it was a stretch, and I was like, okay, like again, like really broke. I was like I was just making it right at this point. And she did this whole YouTube channel, like this unboxing thing, and she spent the most time on the sneakers, and you could just tell, you could see it, like she just loved the sneakers. She put up my Instagram, she put up my website, and she was just like, it was amazing. It was really, really amazing of her, one, to do it without getting paid, and two, like it just really showed that the sneakers are really that cool, and they were obviously customized, so it is special, but it doesn't, you know, like now people won't do that because they want to get paid.
Y'all need to stop that.
It's self.
Yeah. I think my opinion on that is that, look, we're running businesses, and what matters, yes, is the bottom line. We want to be in the green. We want to make money. We want to live a good life. We want to have options to spend money, option to travel, option to make cool stuff. But I think by doing that, by being in the green, is by like creating an authentic business and being authentic doing it, you know? And I think that that's where people like, just like do what you love and do all these things all day and like follow your dream. Great. That's so amazing. But like run a business. No, it's amazing. But run a business. Like think about, have some sort of plan, because in reality, you need to pay your bills and you need to eat and you need a house. So like think about those things and like figure out a way for them to come together. Does money follow if you're doing something authentic? Yes. But like while you're doing the authentic thing, you need money to keep doing it. So like there is this kind of like equilibrium and this like perfect balance that you can find by doing those two things. But like, yeah, it is like, that's something that I would say to people is like, start a business for sure, but like keep your other job. And if you can't keep your job and start a business, then you can't be running a business.
I say it all the
like,
time.
yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
What two things about these. Where did you get the diamond shoestrings from?
Just like a wholesale supplier downtown LA.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god. So how much would this cost now?
The sneakers are $295 with fully customized, which I think is a really good price. It is a really good price.
No,
like that's been the price since day one. Well, not since day one. It was like $175, which
You
is
still
like
have some?
hello.
You still have some?
Like you don't have sizes like that.
No. I don't
To
stock
send them
these.
in?
So if you order online or if someone places an order, I do everything. So you just go online, write in what you want on the text box, pick your size, and just like put the order through the site, and then I ship them to you like fully done. They don't come with the laces, but the laces are $25. Like
You don't. You can completely say no on this. Can I send you a pair for musicians and sneakers?
of course.
And we'll pay you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll send you when I get home. I want to send her. I got some white vapor waffles I may send.
Okay.
Those are like $600 shoes. And
Yeah.
I want her to do it.
Yeah.
What you would red on it?
Yeah.
What?
I don't care. I mean, we'll come up with some stuff. But I mean, because I see the future of where this is going. If we're already here in this beautiful place.
Yeah, someone asked me a while ago, they were like, what do you like imagine your brand being? And I was like, and this was like before I had the art, and I was like, I just don't know. Like I don't know what it is, and I think that came from a place of like not being so rigid.
That's good. When you don't know, it becomes
Yeah.
bigger than
And like
you don't know.
and because if he asked me then, like I would have never said art.
Right.
Like literally ever. Like am I creative? Like do I do things and blah blah blah? Sure, for sure. Have I always done that? Yeah, but like making pieces of art and selling them for thousands of dollars. Like literally never in my wildest dreams would I have been
And
like
actually people
cool,
buying
like,
them. Yeah.
yeah, like actually selling it,
What
not
was your
just being like,
first-
oh, I'm just gonna like do things
What
like
was
for
the
fun.
first big piece where you said somebody actually bought it for that much money?
Okay, well, the story, it's the Dallas guys.
Shout out Dallas.
Yeah. Woo, like, really love Dallas because of these guys. Like, just, again, just these people who just, like, believe in your dream and their opportunity and just nice people to work with.
Yeah.
But his name's Trey. He bought the champagne cap piece.
Okay.
So he put a deposit down for that, and then he came to me and he was like, "I want something else that's like really fully custom, like just for me. I don't want anyone to. I don't want to have. I don't want to have had anyone have seen it."
Right.
Oh yeah.
One of one.
Yeah, and he was like, and I want it to be custom. I want the words. I want the writing. Like he was like really just down for the words, and I was like, wow, like honestly, what a thing to like for me to just have someone say, be like, I just want your writing. Like that's just so cool. Again, these are things that like you're just. I'm still kind of accepting and understanding that like is like other people think it's cool. You know, it's like kind of like a weird place to be. And so I had these collection of, this is kind of going in a different direction, but had this collection of National Geographic, this is also another really good story.
Right.
Had this collection of National Geographic, full collection of National Geographic magazines that were my grandfather's,
Okay.
a vintage collection, and they all have the maps. And that's what makes these magazines valuable, because you can buy National Geographics online, but you can't find the maps.
Yeah.
Like, because the maps get lost. Like, the maps, like National Geographics from the 60s, like, no one's keeping the maps, right? Or, like, very few. And they came from my grandparents' house in Pennsylvania with all our moves. And my mom was like, Leah, like, we need to throw this away. Like, they're not valuable. They're not anything. Like, but Mom, they're so beautiful. They're just beautiful.
Once again, seeing art. And people's
Yeah,
passion.
yeah, an opportunity. And she's like, well, what are you gonna do with them? And I was like, this was one time where she like was really like kind of saying no to something, and I was like, Mom, they're like so beautiful. She's like, okay, but like, I was like, well, when I have a library, I'm gonna put them in the library. Like that was just my short answer. And she was like, okay, I don't even know what that means. She's like, a library. She's like, why? Like, I'm not a big reader. Like, I'm not like really. And she was like, okay. And I was like, Mom, just please keep them. Their grandpa. My mom's very close to my grandfather's Italian. He came over from Italy. Like, she keeps that very much in our life. And like, they're grandpa's, and I was like, just keep them. Anyway, then Trey came to me and he was like, I want this custom piece, and he like loves the outdoors. He has like a really nice experience with like healing there. And I was like, I have these National Geographics, they're my grandfather's. I was like, what if we do something like that and I make like these 4 pieces? Like I made the triptych for you. He sent me that. He's like, can you do like more than one piece? Again, like that piece came up a bunch. And so I was like, why don't I make you these 4 pieces, these National Geographics, and we write on top of them.
Okay.
We can actually pull this down right here.
Okay, I'll grab it for you. Hold that.
Yeah, and so that's a sample actually I made for him. And so,
Oh, it's got a camera on it.
oh, okay.
You know, we're gonna get up and look at it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We'll walk around.
Yeah. It's just resting. But, anyway, so.
In the middle, like a.
Yeah. Anyway, so the pieces are, the camera.
Oh, he's actually just handing over.
Yeah. No, that's great. So I selected the best National Geographics out of all these things, and I took the maps out of them. And so the maps are going to be placed in the back or maybe off to the side in the gallery so that people can see the maps and to their respective magazine cover. And they are very special. They're cool. They tell like such a story. And the reason why the magazines tell my grandfather's story is that when the Germans came and bombed Italy, his town, he was in 4th grade and he couldn't go to school anymore, and so he'd read these National Geographics to educate himself, and then he kept them over the years, and so they're just special. And my grandfather passed away, and it's like just one of these things, and regardless, they just have made it through all of this time. And like it's just not something you can ever replicate. You can never replicate the story. Like it's so special, and I feel like Trey like just loves the story, and he just loves the art, and like kind of like you guys, you're just like, no, we're just here for like this this story and having this up, and just like because some people kind of wouldn't appreciate that, and then he's just like, he just like loved the idea. Anyway, so I sold that for a lot.
A lot as, would you be comfortable sharing? If not, we don't care.
I don't know if I should share.
But you know what? Would you share the price of the stuff in the back?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
we'll do that.
So I'll say it's double the price of the champagne cap piece.
Okay.
So when we find out the price of that, then everyone can do their own math.
It's enough in the back.
No, but
to-
it is kind of a pivotal moment in a career when you do sell a piece for that much, because there is something where when you attach money to something, it does legitimize things.
Right.
It does. Like, money is not everything. Did I believe in myself before? Absolutely. But like I said before, like, we need money to pay our bills. It legitimizes it. It also kind of puts a little bit more worth on your things, right?
Exactly,
Like,
yeah.
these shoes, like, and there is some sort of psychological aspect when, like, you buy something and it is more important, like, more expensive. It does kind of make you value it a little bit more, right? It doesn't mean that things that aren't expensive don't have that value. But anyway, it was a big moment for me because I was like, wow, like granted, I haven't increased my prices on like the custom things because I still want people to have the things, but I'm not taking commissions for those. So I have to say no to them. If someone's like, oh, I'll pay you $6,000 to make me a custom piece, even though it's $2,000 because your time right now, I don't have time to do it, I would say yeah, you know. So it's like those kind of things, those trade-offs. But to be able to like be in that position again, like really just makes me feel like, okay, whoa, this shit is serious right now. Like, so
I would say to jump in there, for anybody who's a collector of custom art pieces, it's more than worth it. You'll never see anything else like this. You don't do you replicate a lot of the expensive stuff, the big stuff?
no, everything is 1 out of 1.
So what?
Yeah.
I mean, you won't beat it. The best, some of the best art in the world.
And I love when you start doing the certificates.
Yeah.
Because like all the art galleries I go to have those
Yeah.
certifications.
Yeah.
So I mean, when you hear
I was
those,
like, I need those.
when you hear those types, when you hear those type of prices, and this is for the audience, understand people are paying for it.
Yeah.
So-
See, and that's what the price does, right? You're kind of just like, I mean, look at like, one, they're limited and they're important, and I don't know much about the pricing in the art world, but people pay a lot of money for art, and it's like, it's just a cool, but like all the clothes are very affordable, and there are pieces of art that are affordable. I'm gonna start doing prints and
You got
make them
jewelry.
affordable.
Jewelry,
Tons of jewelry, like, I mean, you know, and I
candles.
Yeah, everything.
We talked
like,
about candles.
Yeah.
Yes, I was like, gosh, she's doing everything.
Yeah.
So
And
dope.
but yeah, like look at like Picasso. Like, I mean, I look at like oh my gosh, I've just been spending a lot of time on like First Dibs and Artsy and just looking at the prices of things, and things they're going for $60,000. And also like it takes a long time to make art.
Right.
You know, and like I'm kind of like busting out of this spot, you know, I'm growing out of it. And so it's like I physically, space-wise, cannot take on any more art. I can barely do the stuff that I have, which again is a really cool place to be like, oh cool, I'm actually
Is your home full of art?
my roommate, so I actually have a roommate, and like looking to kind of like, yeah, like I still have a roommate. Like I'm going back to the money thing, I'm extremely frugal and I'm extremely good with my money.
Good.
And that also is a huge part of running a business. And so yeah, I have a roommate, which I'm kind of like going into like looking and like moving out, but like I don't really want to live alone. I don't want to be alone. Like, it's a nice setup I have right now. But my room, so she decorated the apartment and it's very cute. But my room, I have a ton of art in my room. Yeah, I have obviously a mural in my room of one of my own.
I'm assuming it's your with the gold.
And then I have 3 authentic Andy Warhols actually that my father bought from Amsterdam. Yeah, and so my room is it's really good. And then I have a picture of my family.
Do you mind if we walk around and talk about some of the workspace?
Yeah, no,
and
let's
the
do
art?
it.
Because I saw you push. What time?
I'll make it work.
What time you got people coming in?
Oh, normally on Sundays I'm closed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I totally jammed my toe last night.
Oh my gosh, you did?
Yeah.
That's like the worst feeling. Come through
It
the
was
bang.
bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready.
Let's start here first, and then we'll come back there. Let's go over here. I'm gonna have to walk around. Can I move this to the side?
Yeah.
I don't know what exactly is gonna get. I think you could probably leave it. I don't know. What do you guys think? It's okay if we leave this stuff.
Yeah, I don't.
Just don't get it. The frame stuff. Less square.
No, you're right. You're fine, Lee.
Totally sweating. Amazing. Okay.
On the side.
Okay.
You can move the mic. You can move the mic. It's in the way.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get this piece. National Geographic.
Alright, so earlier you were talking about the National Geographic piece. I wanted to show everybody the piece. We're moving stuff around in the store. And then the surfboard. But let's talk about this
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, so this was a sample.
Okay.
This is the second sample. I mean, all the National Geographics are so cool, but I feel like I picked ones that I didn't like that much.
Okay.
But
Just for the
sample,
yeah.
but I love this. Like this, of course I can touch it. Yeah, oh my god, please touch it. I love to touch everything. But so we started off with just black. We can show you the other sample, but it's not cute. Like this one's cute, that's why it's out. Cute. And then so we started with just black, and it kind of blended in too much. And I've never done like a layering thing like this. So we're like, why don't we do white on top of black? So it's this. So the National Geographics are sealed because when you put resin on paper, it can kind of distort it. So they're sealed, and then it's resin, and then it's black, and then it's resin, and then it's white. And so for the final one, I'm gonna do another coat of white and then resin on top of it. So and maybe I'll do even like 2 coats of resin in between the black, so it kind of gives it a little extra depth.
Resin bends like that, like.
Yeah, normally it doesn't. It's actually a very hard material. So like epoxy and resin are like they use it for counters.
Right.
So
I've never seen it move like that.
yeah, so it's really cool, and in resining paper, and I love how it has, again, it needs one more coat of resin, but I love that you can kind of like feel, like see that it's a magazine.
Yeah.
It's really cool. So none of these ones had maps, because again, the maps are really valuable, but in my mind, in the gallery, I'm gonna have the maps like set up. I can show you, I have them all separated, but maybe put something on the wall that's like cute, not like really cool. So people can look out, and so it kind of becomes like an interactive piece of art.
Do you sell the sample pieces? Like
This one is for sale. Yeah, if someone wants to buy it, I don't have a price on it right now since the other one they're so expensive. I'd probably sell this for like 4,000 or 5,000.
So this is why samples are important, because like when people release Yeezys, shoes in the sneaker culture, a sample is something we never get a hold of. So I have these Yeezys on.
Yeah.
The sample pair, nobody will ever get a hold of. When you do, it's like $100,000 piece. That's why, because it's only one.
Because it's like the first. It's like where the idea was
when we wear shoes,
okay, that makes sense.
They mass produce shoes, right?
Right.
The sample is not mass produced.
That's true. Okay, I see.
So imagine having that one of one
Yeah.
of a sample of a shoe.
Yeah.
And it's never the same color as like the one they released. So that's why when you said sample, I was like, okay, that's even better.
And I love this quote, because going off of everything that I just said, like my advice to people was kind of not be so rigid, which again, that was something that looking back, I realized how rigid and stubborn I was. Intelligence is the ability to adapt to change. And I think being able to adapt to change, whatever that change looks like, it might just be being able to kind of, again, go with the flow.
Right.
That could be the change. And I think that it's extremely valuable when you can adapt to change, because if you can't adapt to change, then you're just going to keep doing the same thing all the time and kind of fail.
I didn't even ask you about your sweater.
Oh yeah, just new.
Yeah, let's get a shot of that.
Yeah.
City of Angels.
Yeah, it's fitting. In the back.
Yeah, I didn't even ask you about that. I should ask you about them too.
Okay.
Surfboards. Why surfboards?
Well,
or is it just write on anything?
No, I will literally just write on anything. But my friend Laura, she does all the jewelry in the store.
Okay.
She wanted a surfboard for her house. She was moving. And so she's like, so she found this really, really, really amazing surfboard, and they were also selling this surfboard, so she got the nice one, and this one is a little less expensive. It was like really cheap. I'm not gonna say how cheap it was. But for a surfboard, it was very, very, very inexpensive, and so I was like, okay, I'm right on it. And so we put it up for the show, and it was a really cool piece, actually above this couch, and it was hanging vertically.
Oh wow!
But I also just love the quote. Again, I just love quotes. Bethany. It just says, I don't need easy, I just need possible. So again, all of the things kind of are extremely cohesive, right? Like, you don't need it to be easy, but you just need to know that it's possible, because you're willing to work hard for all the things. And then, so who said this? It's Bethany Hamilton, and she was, I don't know, she's a female surfer. She got her arm bit off by a shark.
Yeah, I remember. I know.
Or both of her?
I think it was just one.
Just one, and she still surfs.
Yeah.
So, anyway, like, what a bad bitch.
Yes. Shout out to Bethany. But tell me about the mirrors. I see a mirror there, mirror there, mirror
Yeah.
What is the reason for writing on mirrors? Because I'm thinking you can look into the mirror.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, so I love the repetitiveness of the art and the things that I do, and I love quotes and seeing things, because that is how you rewire your brain, right? Is when you see things and you repeat them and you create new habits. So when you look into a mirror, you're kind of like looking at it and you're like, you're beautiful. So when you see it and you see it over and over and over again, then you literally start to believe it. And then there is your we're actually doing a bunch of events here in the store about this, but your neural pathways actually start to change,
Okay.
and you start to believe it, and then
Right.
that's how habits begin, and that's how thoughts change, and that's
Wow.
how you like. Then your life starts changing, right?
Okay.
So the mirror kind of like is a literal reflection of that. And then when
Okay.
you write on it, it kind of is just like a reiteration of that.
The reason why I wanted to look at it is
Fascinating.
because that's beautiful. I went to a hotel recently and we stayed there and we saw a lot of mirrors like this
Uh-huh.
with affirmations written on.
Okay.
And I was like, why would they put these in here? And I found out the hotel was the hotel that Tina Turner ran to, but Ike beat her up and she left him for good.
Uh-huh.
Well, in the hotel room, when she got in the hotel room, she got all these mirrors and wrote affirmations to herself.
my
To tell
gosh.
herself she was beautiful and this and this and this. And it looks just like that. The
Oh my
frames were
gosh.
like that. And it was written in lipstick. At the hotel, I get the name of the hotel in Dallas from my wife. The stuff is still there.
Yeah. Oh
In
my
that
god,
room.
that's so
So,
cool. You have to
yeah.
send me a picture.
Yeah,
Oh my
see,
god.
I have pictures on
Wait,
my
doing
phone.
it in lipstick is a really cool idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that
Do
it's not like a
do
new
that.
thing, but actually that would be a cool thing to
Yeah.
sell. I wonder how the lipstick would
Do that.
look over time.
Sell it to CoverGirl. CoverGirl Plug.
Oh yeah, I just did a thing for Smashbox actually. I don't know if you know that company, but
Yeah.
I did bags and they used it like in a commercial. So that
I
was
said it
cool.
first, CoverGirl. Patrick Favors musicians and sneakers.
Let's go.
We'll do a collab. Yeah, I'll send you pictures. I have them in my phone, and they're still
Okay.
there. She was in a bad moment, but it was pretty deep.
Cool.
We'll go back to the workstation. Anything you want to talk about here? Anybody you want to shout out?
I mean, there's so many cool things in the store, but shout out Laura,
Like
Nika
you
Vera.
singing on the mic.
Yeah. Oh,
It's not on.
I know.
predatory.
Okay.
Yeah, everything in the store is all female-owned businesses. Little shot glasses and the resin things are my sister, so I'll give her a little shout out.
Is that your art on the shot glasses?
No, those are
Okay.
just little things that my sister thought were cute, and then
Okay.
she puts when you after you're done taking the shot, it just says like hi at the bottom or something cute.
That's
So
dope.
cute, yeah. Everything, most of the stuff is mine. There's another sample piece from a piece of art that I did. Little Snapple cap thing, which is very cool.
Right.
But yeah.
That's dope, man. I'm gonna get to you. Walk. They're gonna walk right here. They're gonna go right here.
Okay, and now we are going into the thick of it.
Where the magic happens.
Into the thick of it.
I think this
Into
is
the
what I
thick of
wanted
it.
to see the most because I wanted to see what behind the scenes looks like. I wanted to see what it looks like when you come back here and you're making your magic. You're doing stuff.
Well, this rack is not normally here, so that's the first thing I'm gonna say. But yeah, as you can see, I don't know if it looks organized, but everything is extremely organized because organized life, organized mind, and if everything is cluttered, then, and this goes for your home too, I believe it's a really hard way to work, especially when you're doing so many things.
I think I know what I would like.
Oh yeah, something spray pen?
No, a bottle of spray paint with your word letters on
Oh,
it.
that's cool. That's really cool, actually.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay,
Let's
no,
go.
that's okay. I love that. So these are all the candles, which is the collaboration I'm working on with this very, very cool female-owned and run brand called Apotheke. This is what they look like. We have sold, like I said, 250 of these candles in a month.
And she will literally write on anything.
Yes, I will literally write on anything. This collaboration I'm very proud of because one, it was the first like kind of quote unquote real collaboration I ever did. And they really like gave me a chance, and I feel like I showed up as like my newest, best, coolest artist self, and just, you know, went to them with like really good content, really good product photos, and just did the whole thing from start to finish, like in a really nice, professional way. And yeah, I had my girls shoot it, Kristen, and I don't know, it was how I imagined, like how I want everything to go, right? Like how I imagined like my younger self would be proud of, like how I'm working these days. It's like do something, I don't know, do it good and do it right.
Do you ever think that you would be overwhelmed? Let's say, so you got this collaboration, you have other collaborations. Does it ever overwhelm you? Would you have to bring somebody else in, like from the family or friends, just to help you?
Well, the hard part about that, or the answer to that, is that no one can really help because it's my handwriting. So
That's
it
true.
can't be replicated. It's like your fingerprint.
Right.
It actually is very, it's extremely specific to each person. And
Does it
maybe my
overwhelm
mom might be able to help with something like this. She's the only person, but she could probably learn it.
I
But
asked that on
it's
purpose
extremely,
because I knew the answer was that. I
Oh
didn't
yeah,
ask
no,
it.
but it's actually like really, it's hard to hold it and to like learn how to write around. And I don't know. It's also kind of like, if you don't love it, like you're not gonna do it. You know what I mean? Like you're just not. And if you're gonna get paid, like man, it's like I don't think people are gonna do it. And I love it. Like it's therapeutic. I don't like repacking them,
Right.
but I do it. But like, I love writing on candles. It's fun. I'm just like sitting here and just gonna like chill out.
Right.
Does it overwhelm me? Maybe there's moments of it, but then it's like really easy to quickly come back and be like,
What you love doing.
this is so cool that I have so many candles and work that I'm actually overwhelmed. Like, what a cool place to be. Like, that's what I dreamed of, you know? Like,
Yeah.
actually having too much work where before you're kind of like scraping and scrambling to figure out what to do, and now it's like, oh my god, like I get to wake up tomorrow at 6 a.m. And come and work, and I have like shit to do all day, and people who are buying my stuff want to put this in their homes.
Right.
Like that's crazy, you know? Like, that's really crazy.
Do you have a favorite piece? That's probably weird as a
No, it's not weird. This is absolutely my favorite piece right here.
Oh, that was
And then
mine.
the National Geographic pieces are my favorite. And
I'm gonna tell you right now, musicians and sneakers, I wanted this. So right now we haven't made that much money in musicians and sneakers. Tell me what that would be worth. What is the price?
it's
of that?
32,000.
But why is it worth that much? You tell that story.
Yeah. So the one good thing that came out of all my partying years in New York was that yes, every single time I went out, and every single bottle of champagne that I ever saw anyone drink, I asked them for the cap. Oh, it took me 11 years to collect every single one of these caps. There's 1,474 caps on this, and some of them are extremely valuable. And I didn't know what I was going to do with the caps while I was collecting them, but I knew I was going to make a piece of art. And again, without being kind of like, oh, I'm an artist or whatever, I had no idea what I was going to make. All I knew that I was going to make something.
Right.
And then I had an art show back here, and I was like, but now's the time. I'm going to lay it out. Like, I'm going to do it. And my sister helped me lay out the caps. It was really hard. It took us about 30 hours to actually lay the caps.
That's a lot of work too. Is that resin?
Yeah, so it's resined over.
Oh yeah, it is. Wow, that's a lot of work. I know what it.
Yeah.
Laying resin, I already know how to.
Yeah.
The type of work. It's beautiful, man, and when we make millions doing musicians and shit, we're still here. I'm coming to get that.
Nice.
I love that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk to me about this one. You can't fail.
Oh, I love this quote.
Oh, you can't fail.
It says, you can fail at what you don't want, so you might as well take a chance doing what you love. It's better to fail at what you love than fail at what you don't. And so Jim Carrey's father said this because he was an accountant and he took the safe route, right? He was like, I'm gonna be an accountant, I'm gonna do this for my family, and I'm gonna make money so we can pay our bills, right? He was like, I'm gonna live in the green. Like, he's like, I'm gonna go bottom line type thing. And he ended up getting fired, and all his money was taken, or something happened with the stock market, or something like that. And he was like, wow. He's like, so I didn't take the risk, and I still failed.
Right.
He was like, I don't know if he said this to him. I imagine, the story I'm telling myself, is that he said to Jim, he was like, you might as well just like take the chance, and like you're gonna fail at what you love, and then fail at what you like.
That's a powerful message. Failing is important.
Yeah, and I feel like the painting, actually, my father had this hanging. It's from Amsterdam. It was already painted, and I like the quote on top of this because kind of looks like a little peaceful / isolating, and I imagine someone like in there kind of thinking about or practicing something that they love, or making art, and like being like, you know what, if I fail, at least I tried, and like did something I love.
Small details. So do you let the paint run on purpose?
Oh my god, absolutely. I love the drips. Some people don't like the drips.
I love it.
I love the drips. They are not good for everything. But
they work for this.
Yeah.
Perfect. They work a lot, but for this is perfect.
Yeah. I like the kind of like the dichotomy between like really intricate, like this piece of art. I know it was very expensive. I don't know how much it was, but definitely like high.
And you wrote all over it.
Yeah, and I love that it was like really expensive and intricate. And she was sitting there, and then I just took a marker and I was like, you might as well just fucking go for it, you know? I love kind of also that story with the with the art.
Tell us the price on that one.
That price, this is $5,700.
If you're interested, musicians and sneakers, if you see this, and if it's still here, come out and get it. It's a great piece. It's a great piece.
Yeah, it's a good size too. It's a cool piece to have. Definitely like a hero piece for the right room.
It's one of those pieces that you recognize when you walk in somebody's house, and where you recognize it off the back. So I love it. I love it. I love the art. I love the work. I see your sweaters, your sweatshirts, your t-shirts.
Yeah, so we do all our like online order fulfillment back here, and also is where I do all the art, which kind of doesn't look like it's possible, but it's really. Oh, this is the National Geographic.
Oh, yeah.
So these are these pieces that I unfortunately had to take a break on, and I really don't want to, but I don't have enough room. But the candle collaboration really.
So no resin yet.
no resin. So these are sprayed, so they're sealed, but I'm gonna do another sealing coat. So there's 4. Oh, I can show you the maps too. There's 4. This is places, so you can see they're all places. I mean, they're just so cool, but they're all like very. Actually, I don't know if I can. Anyway, you can kind of get in there and see. I don't want to. These are faces, so places, faces.
I love the faces.
Yeah, I think the faces.
I love the faces.
Animals.
Okay.
They're just like so cool. Like
Yeah, it is.
They're just so. And this is people doing things.
Okay. Beautiful.
Yeah, it's just.
Well, you know what's crazy about the vintage aspect of it? This still has the cup that
Oh
somebody
yeah.
set.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
No,
and it's funny because most people wouldn't see that as art, and that's art.
Exactly.
I love that. It's like the whole
Yeah.
issue.
Somebody in 19 something set their cup on that.
Yeah, and that's why.
And you think
That's
about
why
what was that guy
these
thinking?
are so cool, and like
Right.
I don't know, they just tell so much of a story, so much more of a story than just.
So no timeline. You just work on them when you can.
Well, these need to be done by mid-October because they're coming to pick them up.
Okay.
And
Alright.
with the surfboards, but I have to do the candle collaboration because the pallet shipment of these, yeah, it smells really good. The pallet shipment of these was delayed, so I'm like 100 orders behind, so I needed to like make a dent on these, and then I can go back to the surfboards.
That's handwriting. Wow.
Yeah, that's my signature, which isn't done in.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
What are candles going for anybody who wants to know?
The candles are $124.
Can you give everybody the website?
Yes, it's apotheke.com. Oh, it's right here. Can you see? Yeah. You can just find it in their
And
collaboration.
then throw
space.
your website in there too, in your Instagram.
Everything is Leah Kirsch across the board.
Okay.
Yeah, keep it simple.
Yeah. Support my girl, guys. I always stress support artists. I know Leah outside of, I've talked to her outside of what we're doing right now. She's a beautiful soul, a beautiful person. She works hard on what she does, and I believe in her work. Y'all support your girl. Come out, buy something if you're in LA. If you're online, buy something online. Check out the candles, check out her beautiful sneakers, man. Please support her, man, because she's going way beyond what we can see. And I'm
As my girl would say, jewelry girl Laura, she always says yesterday's price is not today's price. So.
I was gonna say that. So another thing, because I was talking about Picasso, buy it now,
Yeah.
enjoy it now because the price is not gonna be the same.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
even tomorrow it might be like 10K instead of 2.
Yeah, so come get it now. Just see that.
Gang, gang.
Yeah, if this is still here, if there's anybody that sees this, come get this art, man.
Yeah.
It's beautiful art.
Yeah.
Once again, thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you
I'm
so
gonna get this
much.
art. I want a handshake. Thank you for supporting us, man, and helping us with our dream. And I will be back. We'll be back.
Awesome.
We are musicians and speakers. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Cool. Let's let it dry.
Yeah.
Is green okay on this? Okay.
Let's do white.
The white is really low, but let me see. Let me spray it first. I think white would be better. The neon on the black is sick. What should I do?
I was thinking dope.
Should I write Pat?
Oh.
And that would be like the
I
thing
want
I
that.
got from the mall. You know what I mean?
Oh shit!
You said what?
If she do Pat, I feel like it's like I got it from the mall. You know what I mean?
Like yeah.
Oh.
Dope. We go with dope.
Okay, I like dope. On the front?
Baby, what you think?
I don't know. I think the back for sure.
Do the back.
Oh no.
I'm not worried about it.
Should we make it cute? We'll make it cute. Let me just see if this white works. This will be your camp. I feel like I want to put it back if it was out.